Hi, I'm Alan Hanlon.
And I'm Frank Dineen. And this is Pitch and Putt. Welcome to St Anne's Pitch and Putt Club in the beautiful city of Cork in Ireland.
And welcome to the 2010 National Intercounty Pitch and Putt Championships. The National Intercounty Championship is the biggest pitch and putt event on the Irish pitch and putt calendar. We have the Ladies Championship today, and tomorrow we have the Gents Championship. Frank, how do you think the Ladies Championship is going to go today?
The Ladies Championship should be very interesting, Alan. You've got Dublin, who are the holders of the event, very strong team, are playing in the final pairing with the Cork team as well. Cork have home field advantage. The six-person event might make a difference to them. But then earlier on in the event, you have the Kildare team, six very strong ladies from Kildare. I think the championship is going to come down between the three of them.
Yeah. Now, I mean, the history is important here. I mean, it's over 15 years since any team other than Dublin or Kildare have won this championship. Can we honestly see anybody breaking that record at the moment, or breaking that sequence? Or can you really see, I know you've mentioned Cork are the home side, do they really have that chance?
I think they do, Alan. The format has changed this year slightly. They've introduced foursomes, which is every second shot, and they've also introduced a sixth player into the event, where traditionally it was five. I think that it suits the larger counties like Cork and counties like Dublin, who have a larger pool of players than maybe Kildare. But it'll be very interesting to see. The talent within the Kildare team is unsurpassed. Chrissy Byrne is the world champion at pitch and putt, and I think it will come down to very tight margins in the end.
Well, I have to agree with you. The Kildare side is just an ultra talented team. But outside those top three, Cork, Dublin and Kildare, do you see anybody else doing well?
No, Alan, to be honest, I can't see any of the smaller teams breaking through. If I was to be pushed, I'd say maybe the Tipperary team, who have a very young pool of strong talent, maybe a potential risk to a top three place. But I can't see them winning it, to be honest. I think it's between the top three.
Well, I'm going to push you on it here now. Your prediction, who's going to win the 2010 Ladies Intercounty Championship?
I think if Kildare can get their foursomes right, I think Kildare have it in their hands to win it.
I'd have to agree with that. Well, that's the Ladies Championship, Frank. Now moving on to the Gents Championship. We're technically or possibly on the most historic weekend in Irish pitch and putt. The Cork Gents side have won the last 7 inter-county championships. That's a tied national record with Dublin from the 60s and 70s. They are hot favourites to win their 8th championship in a row. We're in the city of Cork. We're in one of the most difficult courses in Cork. Can you really look beyond Cork?
Alan, look, to be honest, you can't, right? The depth and standard within the Cork ranks is unsurpassed. They have multiple national champions in their ranks, and when you consider the likes of Chris Scannell, Frank Dineen and Darren Collins have not made a team, it just shows the strength and depth that they have. This year they introduced foursomes, which may pose a few problems, but I also think the fact that there's a 6-man will increase the depth for the Cork team. I can't see anyone past Cork, to be honest.
But it's important that we look at all the other oppositions.
Of course.
So where's the main threat coming from?
Main threat, I mean, Dublin are always going to be strong. They have good strength and depth. They've changed their selection policy this year for the first time, and it gives them a balanced team, I think. I think Kerry have a good young strong team as well. I think they'll be thereabouts. Tipperary, under the guidance of Paul O'Brien, I think could pose a challenge. And I also want to mention Louth and Meath as well, who are very strong teams too. Meath won the Leinster Intercounty Championships, and also Louth have Mark Miller back playing as well. There's some very top name players going to be here, and I think it's going to be a great weekend. But again, I think Cork can't be beaten here.
Will the weather be a factor?
The weather forecast is quite good. We're due some sunny spells as well. I hope it won't rain, but the course is set up in excellent condition, and it will be a testament to the event, and it'll be a testament to the players. But I think the weather won't play much of a factor this weekend. Fingers crossed.
Your prediction?
Oh no, I have to go for Cork. I think Cork will win by 10 shots. I think that it will be very tight to see who's going to come second. I'd say Louth will come second with maybe Kerry in the middles.
Well, I think Cork will win. I couldn't give a prediction of the margin. Knowing the way this Cork side works, 10 shots is probably the minimum that they're probably going to win by. I think we're looking at a historical weekend of pitch and putt here in St. Anne's.
I do too, Alan. Best of luck.
Best of luck. Well, here we are. It's day one of the Intercounty Championships. It's the ladies' day. And Frank, here's a question now for you. Pitch and putt as a sport, how would you explain that to somebody who never played the sport before?
Well, Alan, the way I describe it is that it's akin to golf. It's not golf, but it's similar to golf in that you use some of the same equipment. It's limited to 70 metres in the Irish game. It's played from a teeing ground using a tee. And other than that, it's about getting the ball into the hole. Almost there, but getting the ball into the hole. It's a game that can be played at all ages and at all levels, from pure beginner up to literally, and we're talking about here today and tomorrow, the best players in the world playing our game. You can represent your country playing this game. You can play for your county, as all of these players are doing right now. And you can literally do everything that you can possibly do in our sport. It's an amateur sport, and it's run by the Pitch and Putt Union of Ireland under the auspices of the NEC, who do a very, very good job, and it's a professionally run organisation. And you've got great scope for people to become good at it. It's not a very physically active game, although it's mentally very tough. And we are delighted here today to be in the presence of the best players in the country, in the ladies. And I'm delighted that we're able to introduce the beautiful sport to people who are watching in.
Yeah, no, it's a wonderful sport. The Pitch and Putt Union of Ireland have to take a lot of credit for the way they organise pitch and putt in this country. The sport has gone further afield over the last number of years. But as you said, you spoke about it being able to be played by all types of people, all ages, and at all different standards, wherever people fit in. But today, of course, we're talking about predominantly the best lady players in the country. And that's where we're looking at now. We're looking at some of the teams that are out on the course at the moment. And currently, as we're looking at Tipperary there hitting a few balls. We'll just go over now and just watch Tracy McGrath from Offaly taking a putt on the fifth hole. That just falls short.
Yes, Alan, it fills everyone with pride to be able to represent their county and obviously their country ultimately. And it's great. I mean, for example, here now, Martha O'Brien I think she's 17 or 18 years of age, and she's one of the top players from Tipperary, and she's competing here in a level playing field with people who've been playing the game for 30 years.
Yeah, like Gerard Ward, the great Gerard Ward of
exactly.
Dublin. And Vera McCarthy, who's been playing a long time, the Cork player.
Yeah.
Slightly unlucky with that shot. So what are you expecting today? There is a bit of a breeze up today. I'm not so sure how that will affect, but what do you think?
I think, well, to be honest, Alan, we've discussed it earlier in the introduction. There's a change this year with regard to foursomes play, which is slightly different, and I think that's going to pose a challenge for the individual players that we're viewing. You've also got 6 players in the team, which I think should be looked at by the NEC, to be honest. I think maybe a ladies' team of even 4 players playing Scotch foursomes would be of benefit to the ladies' game, especially in the smaller counties. Maybe not so much in the larger counties like the Corks and places like that. But, you've got a situation where you have the best players in the country trying to present themselves very well. It's a pity that the NEC can't change it until rule change year, which is in another 2 years from now, because they're stuck with the format that they have now for 2 years, and maybe there was maybe some room for change could have been introduced there, to be honest.
Isn't Marie O'Toole, the captain of the Dublin ladies team, pitching the first hole? Let's see where this ball goes.
Oh, great pitch.
That's a good pitch to the first. Solid start by the Dublin team there.
You can see the wind in the background, Alan, is quite stiff today as well. Didn't seem to affect that ball too much, but
No, that's an excellent shot.
it's a super shot.
Yeah, so I mean, just picking up on something you said, I mean, you mentioned about the bigger counties and the smaller counties. I mean, we're looking at, it's very hard to look beyond Dublin, Kildare and Cork today, isn't it?
Yeah, we discussed that earlier. It is very difficult to look beyond them, and I think it comes down to the depth of the playing pool that are available to these counties. It's very difficult for them to be in a position to offer 6 players of the calibre of this, and I think that's one of the reasons why Cork have a great chance today, because it adds that extra person to the thing. I mean, Kildare, for example, great players and all as they are, would struggle to find the 6th person.
Speaking of which, there's Chrissy Byrne a bit of difficulty on the 16th hole in the forces.
A lot of trouble
she
there.
has to feed that ball all the way around down
Now,
to
if
the
that
left.
gets just on the hill, that could be very good, and that's a super shot. But
Eleanor Walsh on the captain of the ladies Cork team on the first. A bit of backspin there, taking that ball, feeding it back down the green. But that's a very solid start on the first hole.
Well, you couldn't ask for any more on the first hole. Martha O'Brien here now, who we discussed earlier, in a lot of trouble on the 14th. Again, foursomes puts you out of your rhythm, makes it very difficult. She's a lot of trouble here.
She's a good bit away from that was some shot. That's a good bit away from the 14th hole. Second shot.
Oh,
Well, she couldn't do much better than that.
No, that's an excellent shot to even get it within that range. That is a very good team.
Come on, Martha.
Second shot.
Or is it go on, Martha? Sharon Bowles on the first hole, hitting Eleanor Walsh's ball.
Just fell shy of the hole.
Slightly short. And stepping up to take a putt for 3 on the first hole is the Great Ger Ward.
Eleanor Walsh tops in for Cork first, and Ger Ward. This is a tricky enough putt and a bit of work to do to save par on the first.
The best ladies player ever to play the game, Alan?
But that's always going to be the argument. Well, she certainly has enough time to go on and prove that she is the all-time great. 14 national titles speaks for itself. Anyone who wins that amount of national titles, can consider themselves. That's tied with the great Claire Keating of Cork back in the 60s and 70s, who played for Woodvale.
But that's the one thing about Ger Ward, that even 15 or 14 national titles in, her will to win and her bite in competition is still obvious. Even she missed a putt there, and she was very upset by it. Having won so many national titles, to still care about a shot of that nature is a superb way to be, and shows the beauty of our sport.
Marion Byrne for Kildare, chipping on the 8. Just pushed it slightly right, and that's going to leave a tricky putt back down that slope. Tara Dillon also for Kildare on the 10th hole.
Alan, Kildare are really struggling at the moment in the foursomes. Their scores are very poor. I think they're doing themselves a lot of damage at the moment in the foursomes, and they're going to find themselves currently, and that's another one missed there, with a lot to do to carry on, to catch up with the Dublins and Corks, who seem to be a number of shots ahead at the moment.
Yeah, they wouldn't want to rule themselves out of the championship in the first round, but that could be possible with the new format. There's Margaret Webster pitching the 8. That's a good ball as well, keeping it below the hole.
Kildare are in real trouble at the moment, Alan. They're struggling throughout the course, and I'm afraid they're going to do themselves and keep themselves out of contention. Martha O'Brien here now with a tough putt on the 8.
Should break sharply to the left. And the ball is turning. That's a solid putt.
Well, that was travelling, but a great putt for Martha. If only she got a bit of Martha's speed, she'd have got that. This is Anne Daly.
Just didn't get enough pace on that.
Yeah,
Here's Liz Quinn from Westmeath putting on the 9th hole.
Nice view of this putt.
And that's in.
That's how to do it. That's great putt.
Barbara Furlong pitching on the 8th for Dublin.
That's a
a
good
solid
shot.
pitch by Barbara.
That's a good putt.
Didn't see who that was.
Good putt.
Marie O'Toole putting on the 8
4 to 2.
for Dublin.
Dublin are doing well at the moment. They're neck and neck with Cork, but Kildare are certainly a number of shots out of contention. Sharon Bowles on the 9th. Tough chip.
And
Good chip
a
though.
very, very good chip. Lovely flop on that.
Oh, Vera McCarthy playing very well, struggling on the 14th hole, and Daly on the 15th hole with a tough little downhill putt. That's
a
it.
good putt.
Outside the hole. Now, Linda has a tough chip here. She has to be careful of this. Nice pace. Oh, yes. That's going to make a huge difference to Cork now.
The course is in absolutely fantastic condition, but I mean, maintenance of any course is very, very important, isn't it? And the players do themselves also have to play a part in this.
Oh, they have to. I mean, Ger Ward, great putt from Ger Ward on the 14th hole. Yes, Alan. As you see, when the players pitch, as Eleanor Walsh is doing now, they'll strike the green with the ball. And that makes an indentation mark on the green, and you know, you have to be in a position to repair those marks effectively. Not a great putt there.
By Sheila Allen, as they do in golf as well. As the professionals and all players at all levels are expected are to maintain the greens. They're meant to repair their plug marks, all right. So
Left a bit of work for Eleanor to do there.
Put there now.
Yeah, but it's what we're going to do in a moment now is I'm going to show you how to repair a plug mark as effectively as we hope that we can anyway, and it gives you an idea that if you do play the game and you do pitch onto a green.
That's a great putt from Barbara.
Great putt from Barbara.
Absolutely.
Eleanor is a tough one here now on 17. This will make a huge difference if this goes in. Great putt. As we were saying, Alan,
Maintenance is a vitally important part of maintaining any course. When a ball strikes a green, it creates an indentation called a pitch mark. The best way to repair a pitch mark is using a pitch mark repairer such as this. You approach the pitch mark in the direction that the ball has arrived, and we're approaching one here. You crouch down next to the pitch mark and you repair it like this. You pull from behind in a forward movement, and then pat it down with the back of your hand.
Well, here we are in St Anne's Pitch Putt course again in Cork, and we've just finished the first round of the Ladies National Intercounty Championship 2010. The foursomes have taken place, and currently at the moment the situation is as follows. The Cork team, the host team, are leading on 6 over par. That's 5 shots ahead of the current holders, Dublin, who are on 11 over par. There are 2 other teams not far behind, Meath and Tipperary on 13 over par, with Loud following on 14 over par. Now, the big shock of the moment, or the big surprise at the moment, is that the favourites and multiple winners in the last 10 years, the Kildare team, did not play well in this foursomes format of the competition. They're currently sitting on 20 over par. That's a lot to make up in the singles round. Now bear in mind, of course, there are 6 singles rounds as opposed to the 3-4 doubles rounds that we've just seen. We've just managed to catch 2 of the Dublin team as they're waiting to go out in their final round. They're in a very, very strong position. They're lying second just behind Cork. With me is last year's captain beside me of the winning Dublin team from last year, Marie O'Toole, and the current captain beside her is the great Ger Ward. Oh, Marie, how do you feel it's going? I mean, you're lying in a really, really good position here. You fought really well in that back nine, from what I could see, came back really strongly. You must feel confident going into the final round.
Yeah, happy enough with the way things went. We knew foursomes, new format this year, we'd never played it before, so we knew it was going to be difficult, and we felt even yesterday in practice we were hitting the ball well, but knew we'd have to dig deep and support each other, our partners, and the whole way around. So happy with the way things have turned out, and it's all to play for now. Only 18 hole singles, so it's all there. Yeah,
just explain this the new format of the competition, because there's no doubt that this type of foursomes competition is very difficult. Do you feel it is difficult, Ger, especially on a course like St Anne's?
Yes, I'd say it's much more difficult, because in Scotch you have a choice of 2 balls. With the foursomes you've only one pitch. No matter where it goes, you have to play that ball.
Well, we're back with the ladies singles. This is Chrissy Byrne on the second hole. Kildare have it all to do.
Yeah, just fell left of the hole. Still a good attempt, and that should be a good safe three.
Yes. They need more than trees though, Alan. I think they need to get a bit under.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to really get moving on. They were the surprise or shock of the first half of this particular competition. It's very hard to see them come back from here though, Frank. I think they're just too far behind. That said, they've got the players to play well. There's Marion pitching to the 10th hole. Marion Byrne. A wee bit short, but if you're going to be anywhere on that hole, you're better off being short.
You're better off being there. I think, and they seriously need to look at the foursomes. I think maybe Scotch foursomes for the ladies might be something that could work.
It probably could, yeah. Marion anyway, chipping on the 10th. It's good pace on this chip, and it's turning, and it has dropped. That is a brilliant chip for Marion Byrne. And that's the sort of thing that helps the team and keeps the momentum going.
Yeah, they need to do that. But they're doing very well in the front line now. And to be honest, a lot of them are under par, and they need to keep that going.
Chrissy Byrne pitching the 9th, downhill to the 9th. And there's a very, very good tee shot. Bit of a tricky putt though from there, but still very, very good. Tara Dillon on the 11th hole.
Another good shot.
Just off the green, that's that hole.
Chrissy.
Oh! Just slid by on the left hand side.
The wind has picked up a bit as well, and as you can see in the background there too. It's going to affect the pitching, but Chrissy doesn't seem to be minding it too much anyway. It's her putting, I think, is her problem at the moment.
It's unusual for her now we've seen a couple of her putts slide by the hole alright. She's such a good putter, and great aggressive putters. They all are. That's why they do so well all the time. They drain these putts, and they drain them at a good pace. Still safely negotiated, and she moves on.
In fairness to Kildare, with Tara and with the Burns girls coming on board, it really lifted pitch and putt in Kildare to a new level. I don't think, they've won multiple national intercounty championships, multiple national championships between them. Bernadette Coffey as well was another girl who was in that same group, and it's amazing what can happen. Well,
that's true. I mean, Dublin are the current champions already coming into this championship, but Kildare won the previous 4 championships in a row, so it was they're an awesome team, but it's not their day at the moment. Even though they're fighting back, I still can't see them catching Cork or Dublin.
Yeah, Chrissy now on the 11th with a putt for 2. This is tricky now. She's got to be careful here. If she's aggressive here, she could get into a bit of trouble. Oh no, that's very hard. She knows it herself.
But the greens are so slick here in St Anne's today. It's a credit to the ground staff. This course is real championship standard, really fast greens.
Yeah, Chrissy, you can see Chrissy's almost trying too hard almost to get her team back into it. Putts like that don't help. Alan, you've got Stephen Ennigus, the national coach. I believe you're going to have a few words with him as Chrissy misses for 3.
I have with me here Stephen Ennigus, who's the national coach for the Pitch and Putt Union of Ireland. Stephen has a very, very important role in the development of pitch and putt in this country, and even that will have an effect further beyond these Irish shores. Stephen, just explain your role at the moment in relation to what you've been doing through 2010 as national coach for the Pitch and Putt Union of Ireland.
Well, what I've been doing is I've set up primary schools coaching initially in about a total of 18 primary schools around the country, and I've been involved in the summer camps which we initiated last year, and we've rolled out around the country this year. So far it seems to be quite successful. We need more coaches just to come on board, and the policy from the office is that we will get those beginning the end of this year, and we need to, I suppose, to get the coaches that are already in place, to get those to come on board again. It has fallen down a little bit over the previous couple of years, but my role is to galvanise the people interested in coaching, get them together and move forward. Now I'm getting very good response from schools and from
And would you say your just from what you've said, is your primary target, is it the younger generation, is it the young people, or are you coaching at all levels? Are you trying to brew? I know with the schools program, obviously you're trying to coach young people and get them interested in the sport of pitch and putt. But is there a way of getting other people at other ages? Because pitch and putt is a sport that can be played by people of all ages, as we see everywhere.
Yes, and during the summer break there for the schools, I've started and I've ran about 4 age active courses in the evening. And age active, obviously, there's a huge market there for our game, and it's going down extremely well. I mean, I had sessions at 3:30 and 7 o'clock in the same clubs, and it's we have made contact with the ICA Guild, and they're, for next year I can see it really taking off.
Alan, while you're busy there, Cork have made some serious moves in the front 9. Veer McCarthy from Cork is 4 under through 9 holes as well. Chrissy here on the 14th hole with a tricky putt for 3. Let's see if her putting touches back a little bit. That's how to do it, Chrissy. Good girl. And here's Linda O'Donovan from Cork now on the 2nd hole. Yes, Cork are definitely motoring now. You've now got Eleanor Walsh. On the 3rd hole, that's a great putt again. Cork begin to take off a little bit now. Dublin need to make a little bit of action. Kildare's strong efforts in the singles haven't put themselves very much back in the fight. It's up to Dublin now to up their game and maybe get back at Cork a little bit, because Cork are certainly beginning to extend their lead a little. Good putt from Ger. That's how to do it. Veer McCarthy leading the Cork way, 4 under at the moment, playing the 12th hole. Superb stuff from Vera so far today. Really the hero of the Cork team in the front 9. Oh, just missed out. Not to worry, Vera. Linda O'Donovan playing the 11th hole. Linda, an excellent start as well to this round too. Good pitch. That's a nice, little unlucky there with tripping off. This is Stella Shilliams from Dublin on the 11th. That's how to do it. Oh, that's a little unlucky now. From Barbara Furlong on the 11th. Just when Dublin need a little bit of inspiration. Just thinking about this one. I think she needs to hit through the ball a little bit more on this chip. Well, that makes up for the first one, definitely. Great chip. Great chip. Now, Alan, I believe you're with Padraig O'Shea, who's the national PRO for the NEC, for the PPUI. Linda O'Donovan now with her shot for 2 on the 11th. Little unlucky, but good and safe. So we'll go over to you now, Alan, to have a chat with Padraig O'Shea.
I'm with Padraig O'Shea, the Public Relations Officer of the Pitch and Putt Union of Ireland. Very, very busy man. I'm fortunate to have grabbed him during this very, very important and prestigious competition. Padraig, if you were to explain pitch and putt to people out there who really, really have never seen this sport before, how would you put that? How would you explain it?
I would probably explain it as one of the few sports that can cater for everybody from 8 to 85. It's a sport that can be played by every member of the family, from a very young age to probably the great-grandfather stage and great-grandmother stage. It's basically the family sport, which can be as competitive as you want it to be yourself.
Yeah, that is one of the great things about pitch and putt, is that people of all ages can play it, and so therefore it's very equitable. I mean, as we can see today, we're looking at the ladies Intercounty Championship.
Exactly, the best players in the country.
Best players in the country, and a lot of these can compete as well, ladies or gents.
Absolutely, you can. I mean, you have ladies outside there today who would not be in the first flush of youth, and you have girls who are still under 20, and they're all competing on an equal footing. And this is the great thing about pitch and putt, that it can be played for such an extensive length of time.
Yeah. Now, pitch and putt's been around a long time in Ireland. We're closer to 50 years for the union, for the Pitch and Putt Union of Ireland's existence. It has come a long way. How do you see it developing further, and or where do you see it coming from, and what would your hopes for it be going forward?
I think over possibly the next 20-25 years we are going to see consolidation in pitch and putt in Ireland. You have a large number of clubs at present. I think that number will probably fall, but you will get larger clubs with better facilities and stronger as a result. A disparate number of courses in a relatively small area is not the healthiest situation. So I do see consolidation over a period of time, but I do see new people coming into the sport.
Well, that's important, isn't it? It's
Yes.
important to get newer people into the sport. So how do you see them coming in, or how do you think we can attract them in pitch and putt to come into this sport?
I think basically what we have to do is we have to spread our net wider. We have to turn around and produce attractive advertising promotional material, but we have to go out and we have to interact with the general public, and that means members in clubs going out, putting things through letterboxes, and ideally getting people to try pitch and putt, come out for a day, see do they like it. If they do, I think they'll be hooked, and I can see quite a major increase in membership possibly in the next 5 years. The situation where you can represent your country is what every sportsman and sportswoman dreams of, and International Pitch and Putt is giving that to players in Ireland, and that is a tremendous idea. It also, if you have television coverage of pitch and putt, well yes, people are going to see it and they're going to say, I like that, let's try it, and then pitch and putt will score because its cost base is relatively low.
Now coming to the closing stages, Siobhan Keeley from Dublin on the 18th hole. Nice pitch. Putt is always difficult when you have a little bit of fringe behind you, a little bit past. Not a bad effort in general. And Anne Daly from Cork team now, with an excellent score. She's 1 over par for the event. There's your chance to get back to par and gone. But Cork are certainly in a very, very strong position. Alan, you're back?
Yes, Frank, yeah, I'd have to agree with that comment you just said there. I mean, it's Cork now. I mean, you just can't see anyone catching them. I think the surprise is the fact of the manner that they're going to win by. They're going to win by a fair bit of margin from what I can gather. I think Kildare, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Kildare will get second place.
It's very tight, Alan, to be honest, but Dublin haven't helped themselves in the last little bit, but
Well, Siobhan's after dropping a shot there now. Siobhan Keeley just after dropping a shot there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just trying to count up the numbers at the moment. I think Kildare are
Kildare are ahead of Dublin right now, so Dublin need to do something spectacular in the last few holes. But Cork are well ahead at the moment. They're 20 shots ahead of Dublin. Vera McCarthy, definitely the star of the Cork show.
Yeah, she's played superb on that front nine, absolutely. But it's been a great effort from the whole Cork team. I mean, the conditions are not easy. It's hard to explain to people how strong that wind is out there when you're standing out in it. You really, really do feel it. And this is a very steep course. Maria O'Toole now pitching up to the last hole for Dublin. Dublin probably are sure of third place at this stage. You know, if they're still in a fight for a second with themselves.
Yeah, they're definitely sure of third, but I think second is even beginning to elude them now at the moment. Eleanor Walsh hits a great pitch to 17.
That is such a tough hole as well. It's a serious shot to put it that close to the hole.
She did the same in the foursomes actually. She had a great ball in the foursomes to the same hole. Ger Ward now pitch. Let's see if he can get inside Ger. It's a good pitch.
That's a good ball as well. Not
Yeah.
inside, but you would take that any time from that tee box.
Absolutely. Vera on the 18th.
That's a very good chip. She played very, very solid all day long. I
Very,
think.
very consistent.
Ger Ward on the 17th.
Oh.
A rueful smile from the
That's
from
it,
the
Jim.
great player.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, Alan, at this stage, it's definitely Cork's, and I think Kildare are going to get
But,
second.
it looks like the celebrations are beginning already among the Cork faithful. They realise this is a great moment